In an unsettling and tragic case that gripped the world, two 12-year-old girls, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weier, committed a heinous act in the name of a fictional horror character, Slender Man. The events that unfolded on May 31, 2014, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, were rooted in a dangerous blend of obsession, delusion, and childhood vulnerability. This story explores not only the chilling crime but also its aftermath and the lives of all involved over the following decade. The myth of Slender Man originated in 2009 as part of a Photoshop competition on an internet forum. Created by Eric Knudsen, under the pseudonym Victor Surge, Slender Man was depicted as a tall, faceless figure with unnaturally long limbs and tentacle-like appendages. He was said to possess supernatural abilities such as teleportation and mind control. The character quickly became a viral sensation on Creepypasta, a website dedicated to horror stories, captivating the imaginations of readers worldwide. For Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weier, the line between fiction and reality blurred. They believed Slender Man to be real, living in the woods of northern Wisconsin, and thought that serving him as proxies would protect them and their families from harm. Their obsession grew to the point where they plotted to sacrifice their classmate and friend, Payton Leutner, to prove their loyalty. Geyser, Weier, and Leutner attended Horning Middle School in Waukesha. Leutner had been the first to befriend Geyser, noticing her eating lunch alone and reaching out. The two became close, with Leutner describing Geyser as funny and somewhat lonely. However, their friendship began to change in 6th grade when Geyser grew close to Weier. The new friendship introduced a shared fixation on Slender Man, which Leutner found unsettling. Leutner later recalled in an interview that she tried to support Geyser's interests despite her discomfort. However, as Geyser and Weier became increasingly obsessed, Leutner began to distance herself, sensing the change in her friend. By the time Geyser and Weier began plotting her murder, Leutner had already considered ending their friendship. The plan was meticulously crafted over months. Geyser and Weier decided on May 31, 2014, for the attack. They used coded language, referring to the knife as Cracker and the woods as Camping Trip. They believed that killing Leutner would secure their place as Slender Man's servants and grant them access to his mythical mansion. On the chosen day, the three girls gathered for a sleepover at Geyser's house. They played games and acted as if nothing unusual was planned. The following morning, they went to a nearby park. Initially, the attack was to take place in a public bathroom where Geyser and Weier planned to stab Leutner and leave her to bleed out. However, they lost their nerve and decided to move the plan to the woods. Once in the woods, the girls began playing hide and seek. As Leutner hid, Geyser and Weier discussed who would carry out the stabbing. Eventually, Geyser took the knife and, with Weier's encouragement, stabbed Leutner 19 times. The wounds were severe, puncturing her diaphragm, liver, and nearly missing a major artery. Believing she was dead, they left her and began walking toward the woods where they believed Slender Man resided. Despite her critical injuries, Leutner managed to crawl to a bike path where a passerby found her and called 911. Her survival was nothing short of miraculous.
911. What's the address of your emergency?
Waukesha County, Lindy. I'm transferring over a caller on Big Bend at the dead end just south of Rivera.
Okay.
Came upon a 12-year-old female. She appears to be stabbed.
She appears to be what?
Stabbed.
Stabbed?
Correct.
Okay.
Sir, you still there?
Yes.
Hi, sir. So, are you with this 12-year-old female?
Yes, she says she's having trouble breathing. She said she was stabbed multiple times.
Stabbed multiple times?
Yeah.
Geyser and Weier were found hours later, walking along a road miles from the crime scene. When questioned by police, they calmly admitted their actions, explaining that they had intended to kill Leutner to appease Slender Man Geyser. The girls were charged with first-degree intentional homicide and, despite their age, were tried as adults due to the severity of the crime. The case garnered widespread attention, not only for its shocking nature but also for its connection to internet culture and the influence of fictional characters on impressionable minds. During the trial, Weier's defense argued that she suffered from a shared delusion with Geyser and was mentally ill at the time of the attack. In 2017, she pleaded guilty to second-degree attempted homicide and was found not guilty by reason of mental disease. She was sentenced to 25 years in a mental health institution, with the possibility of supervised release after 3 years. Geyser, diagnosed with schizophrenia and psychotic spectrum disorder, also pleaded guilty and was found not guilty by reason of mental disease. She was sentenced to 40 years in a mental health facility, with the judge citing the need to protect the public due to her severe mental illness. Leutner's recovery was grueling. She spent 10 days in the hospital and underwent extensive physical and psychological therapy. Despite the trauma, she returned to school in September 2014 and continued to excel academically. She also volunteered at an animal shelter and participated in music programs. In a 2019 interview, she reflected on her experience, expressing gratitude for the life she had rebuilt. "I wouldn't be who I am without it," she said, acknowledging the resilience she had developed. In 2021, Weier was granted conditional release after over 4 years in a mental health institution. She now lives with her father under strict supervision, including GPS monitoring and limited internet access. Geyser, on the other hand, faced a longer confinement. Her request for early release was denied in 2024, with experts deeming her a continued safety risk. However, in January 2025, she was granted release under strict conditions after demonstrating significant progress. She now resides in a supervised group home for a transitional period.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. See you next time.